So now we have already poured our coffee, and we are going to add 2 shots of pumpkin spice moonshine. Now, you could do more than 2. It's really up to you what you want, but this is actually going to end up being 3 shots because this is like 1.5. So this is going to make it nice and creamy and white because I'm adding more of the moonshine. If I want to add more coffee to keep it dark, I can do that. Right? And I might add just a little bit more coffee. So it doesn't stay too dark, too light. Okay? Now that's like a nice cream. And then we're going to stir that some more again. All right. That we have our coffee. Then, what do we top coffee with? Of course, we top it with our whipped cream. So, shake it up. We'll top it with our whipped cream. I told you, this is one of the simplest drinks we will ever make. And then when we finish topping, we want to have that little bloody glaze on there. So we take our blood red glaze and we just kind of, it's really thick, like blood, kind of just do it over. There you go. And that, if you want, you can add a cookie if you would like. So we're going to add our little pumpkin spice cookie down here. And there you have it. That is our Wake the Day. Okay, once again, the recipe is here. If you do the QR code, it is 1 cup or so of Jacob's Java Luxury Coffee, 2 packets of Tabano sugar, 1 to 2 shots of moonshine, whipped cream, and our bloody glaze. You can put any bloody glaze you want. You can also, if you would like, sprinkle it with a little, our favorite go-to. Not the wrong one. It's all gone. I think I used blue this time. All good glitter. And there you go. A little sprinkling of that. Give it a little blue. Blood is blue. So you got a little blue too. And there we have our Wake the Dead cocktail. Ooh. So that's cocktail number 1. There's really more common cocktail than 1. Our next one is called, I forgot to tell you. So what do we pair this with? Aha, that's the kicker. So here we have our Perdomo 20th anniversary cigar. It is a bold flavored cigar, even though it is wrapped with a very chocolatey looking wrap. But it's a bold cigar. It's a really good cigar to taste, and it will complement this very, very well. Once again, you can get this at local vine here. So there you go. That is 1. The next one we will be doing is our vampire blood. So our vampire blood is a little bit more into it. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read. Drink 1, wake the dead. Yes, drink 1 is wake the dead, exactly. So our next drink 2 is vampire blood. So everything in this drink is pretty much red. Red, we want something red, we want something rich. Isn't this an awesome glass? I got this glass at Ross, y'all. Jake, I love Ross. But I love the skulls and the books and everything. So this is our wine cocktail, predominantly wine cocktail. And it's one of the simplest things we can make. Not simple because it has a couple of things to it, but still it's pretty easy. So for our vampire blood, we will be putting in our wine. So we're using our Apoptic Dark Bold Red Blend. So this is a very dark wine. We're going to start with that. But first we're going to have our muddled fruit. So we have different red fruits. We have dark cherry, we have strawberry, we have blackberry, we have raspberry, and then we added a couple of sprigs of mint to this to get this going. And we're going to add this to our glass. Now, normally you would muddle it in the glass, but I kind of wanted a little bit more of an effect. Kind of looks like coagulated blood, don't it? But anyway, wasn't my intention, but that's what it looked like. I guess we're keeping with the theme here. So we'll start with that. We'll add a little bit because the port is kind of sweet. But we're just going to add just a little bit of agave in there. Then we're going to add our wine. And the wine is the one that you really want to kind of just put in. So you just put it up as to one, because this is the most what the cocktail's going to be made of, is mostly wine. And then we are going to add our Hennessy Black. So our Hennessy Black comes with a bit more of a richer flavor than our regular Hennessy. And we're only going to put a shot of that in there. Even though it looks clear, the taste is not clear. It's still darker. So if you've ever seen Hennessy, it's a little lighter than this. We're going to add, that's actually 1.5 ounces of that. So that's a shot and a half. And then we're going to add our port, which is another. This is going to be a shot and a half, but I may not do it. So look at how rich and red this looks. Doesn't that look gorgeous? And then, so once we have those two things, we can, I'll use the muddler that I was using. We can kind of stir it up a little bit just to get those flavors kind of meld in there together. So this is going to give you, and this one I'm actually going to taste. This one's going to give you that kind of rich flavor. Doesn't it look almost like blood? Hence the name. Are you going to taste it? Oh yeah, that's good. Very rich flavor in that one. Kind of tastes like blood too. Been on the money. And then we can top this off with our dark cherry. And so that is our vampire's blood. Now, I love these dark cherries. They're called Lux Ardo. And you know me, I'm going to put a name in a minute. But I like these because they're really dark, rich cherries. And you can see like how the juices drip off. Even the juice is dark and rich. So that perfectly complements this drink. So, what cigar do we do with this drink? Well, the cigar that I have to do with this drink is a sherry casted cigar. Now, it's also a Maduro cigar, which gives it more of a sweeter flavor, supposedly. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't, but it's very characteristic of having a very dark wrapper. This is actually a triple Maduro. So it's big, bold. Lord, I gotta read too. It's big, bold flavor. Let's go with that, okay? And it's called a Camacho. It is sherry casted. It would go perfect with this particular drink. The flavors together will really go together. And so the Camacho, that's the other one that you can get to go with our vampire's blood. So that's drink number 2. Drink number 3 is my baby. So this is the one that I made for me. So if I was sitting at home and I just want to get a drink real quick, this is the drink that I would make. So this drink this is a shaken drink. So we're putting the drink in the shaker for this one. We're adding ice. So the first thing we do with this is we add some ice. A little shaken with ice. Add ice here. We fill our shaker with ice. So the first thing that we do, hi Mary, my friend Mary came to see me. So the first thing we do is we start with the ice and then we add everything except the acid. So that's going to be 1 to 2 shots of our Smirnoff Strawberry Rose. You know I always do 2 shots every night. So this is 1.5, so we'll do 1 of these. Okay, maybe a little bit more. Do 1 shot of the Strawberry Rose. Then we do a shot of our Saint Germain elderflower. Now remember, this cup is actually a shot and a half, so you're really getting a bit more of that. Then we do a shot of our dragon fruit melon. And remember, everything that I'm putting in here, you can get here at Local Vine. And that is it. That's it as far as spirits. Now, if you want, you can also add a bit of that cherry syrup in there, or you can add simple syrup, but if you want the color, I would add the cherry syrup. And then we put it in the shaker. Work with me. There you go. Put it in the shaker and shake it up. All right, we have now shaken it. I'm having a time. This one has a little thing, but because you strain, and we're gonna add this to our thing. So we'll add a little bit, add a little bit, add a little bit. There you go. Now, the next thing, see how that cherry gave that pink flavor, that pink look? That's what we want. So the next thing we can add, I forgot to add the raspberry, but I can add it now. Don't matter. I was supposed to add, actually, I think this is supposed to go in that one. But it's okay. I added it to something. So you can, this is the raspberry, the pork chumbar. You can add it to here. You can add it to the vampire's blood. And I think that's what I was supposed to add it. But there you go. On the recipe, it's going to say blackberry brandy, but I didn't have blackberry brandy. So that's why the chumbar is the substitute. But if you don't have the chumbar, you can always just use blackberry brandy. That's what the recipe actually calls for. So, also for this recipe, it said you could use the red berry ginger ale or hibiscus ginger beer. Use the hibiscus ginger beer. It's easier to find. I couldn't find the red berry. And actually, I couldn't even find the hibiscus. I don't know what happened. It's always around. The one time I need it, it's gone. But you top it off with champagne, Prosecco, rosé. So you top it off with that. And then, to make this all come together, we add 2 drops of absinthe. Now, absinthe is strong. Strong, let me tell you, it's strong. But, and it goes with my colors, right? Green. Okay. But anyway, absinthe is really strong. It has a very strong anise flavor, licorice flavor, wormwood flavor, very herbal. So any drink you add it to, it can take over, which is why you don't put too much of it in there. So we're only gonna put literally 1, 2. That's it. And it probably was more than 1, 2, but that's close enough. And that is our drink. Now, if you want to, once again, you can top this off. You can have less champagne and then add more of the hibiscus ginger beer, which would have gave you that ginger flavor to it also. And then we add this. We're gonna add our cherries and strawberry to it. And that is our drink. That is Lexie Moon's Elixir. So a great cigar that would pair with that would be something that's flavored. You can do vanilla. I happen to do honey. So even though this is a whole lot of fruitiness, it's really not sweet. I'm telling you, it's not that sweet, especially when you add the absinthe to it. And so this is going to balance this drink out with this cigar. So this is a Havana honey cigar. Once again, you can get this here at Local Vine, as well as everything that I use to make these drinks. And this will pair well with this drink. Now, I'm going to try this drink. This is my favorite. Ooh, that's good. Now, you taste the absinthe, but it doesn't overpower your drink, which is what you don't want. You want to taste it, but you don't want it to take over. So just those 2 drops added just that kick of flavor, and it didn't overpower the drink. And then I would go and just smoke a nice honey cigar and pair those both together. So that was our drinks of the night. Once again, if you want the recipes, scan the QR codes. They are right here. You can get them. They also was posted in my TikTok. They were also posted in my Reels, and it's probably in a post in my Instagram. Those of you who was on Facebook, the broadcast got a little cut, so you caught it in a little bit. But we will upload and update it, and you can see the whole thing from the beginning. And once again, thank you for joining me. So I'm here once again at Local Vine. I want to thank them so much for allowing me to do this here and present this to you. And like I said, come here. Everything I made, I got here. Everything. Okay? So thank you for joining me tonight. Y'all have a wonderful Halloween, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, girlfriend. Hey.